Welcome to Fraud Friday. I'm Bob Coleman. The reason why I get very passionate about this subject is when bankers cross the line, it imperils our entire financial system. Today, I'm talking about a Juan Francisco Ramirez of Puerto Rico. He was the chairman of a bank called Nodus International Bank and out of Puerto Rico. And he siphoned off $13.6 million from the bank, causing the bank to fail. Well, what that does is that stresses the entire financial system when you have these type of fraudsters. And this type of fraud is just as serious as someone who walks in with a gun. Again, it causes people to lose money, and it is an insidious crime. It's not a victimless crime. The Justice Department wrote, the defendant abused his position as chairman of the board of directors to fraudulently divert funds from the bank that he had been entrusted to run, resulting in the bank's collapse. Let me tell you what happened. He was supposed to be protecting depositors, growing the bank, making prudent investments. Instead, he cooked up a scheme with his partner, a Tomas Nimbro. The two of them ran Nodus like it was their personal piggy bank or ATM. They created something called a sham investment certificate backed up with bogus promissory notes. He funneled the money into shell companies and then put it right back out to cover their own debts. Here's the problem. Law said banks cannot lend to insiders, owners, directors, executives, unless you have regulatory approval. And there's no way that this would have happened. When they got caught, what did they do? They lied. They hid it. They tricked their own board of directors, their own compliance officers into approving resolutions that didn't tell the whole story. They made their comptroller sign off on numbers that were pure fiction. And too often, when I talk about victims, one of the other victims obviously are the employees of this bank. And unfortunately, in several instances, you see where the feds go in and they not only go after the perpetrator, usually the president or the chairman, but they also then go down the hierarchy to nab the CFO or the comptroller. That makes their jobs very stressful, very difficult. Let me tell you some of the specific things that occurred. Back in 2017, Ramirez used $2 million of bank funds disguised as investment to pay off a personal loan in Switzerland. And that loan, he'd taken it out to help him buy the bank in the first place. Think about that. He used the bank's own money to pay off for his own ownership stake. Certainly an insider transaction, reducing or having no skin in the game. In 2020, regulators started sniffing around. Ramirez pulled another trick. He had Nodus pump $1.5 million into his affiliate, Nodus Finance. That money immediately got shuffled back to pay his old fraudulent loans. And oh, by the way, a chunk of it lands into his personal account to pay off credit cards. 2022, regulators demanded Ramirez and Nimbro put in their capital to keep the bank afloat. Did they? No, they stole another $6 million, laundered it through shell companies, and re-injected it as if it was their own company. On paper, they looked like they were doing the right thing, but they didn't. 2023, with the bank teetering, Ramirez arranged for Nodus to buy a $26 million loan portfolio from another affiliated finance company. That portfolio was junk, worthless paper, but it wiped out the debts his affiliate owed, making it harder for regulators to claw anything back. Over and over, Ramirez used straw borrowers, friends, relatives, associates to create fake loans that funneled money back to him. He turned the entire institution into his personal ATM or piggy bank. So what happened? In October 2023, the regulators had enough. Now, it's interesting. Puerto Rico is part of the United States, but they have their own unique set of laws. Their legal system is actually based on Spanish law, which I find fascinating. Anyway, the regulators had enough. The Puerto Rico Office of Commissioner of Financial Institution revoked Nodus's license and put the bank into receivership. The numbers are staggering. Lawsuits claim Nodus owed over $92 million. More than 95% of its loan portfolio had no collateral. These were all sham investments that they did. The bank entered liquidation. Regulators just didn't shut it down. They went after Ramirez and Niembro personally. to try to recoup the money, but of course, it's long gone. So you have the bank chairman who is just shuffling papers again, the smartest person in the room. He got away with it once and he continued that behavior, but eventually it caught up to him. With the guilty plea, he's facing some serious time. If the loss is over $10 million, it's going to be a substantial prison sentence. The man's 60, so his outlook does not look good in terms of his freedom. I'm Bob Coleman. Thank you for joining us for Fraud Friday.